Number 3. The Watcher in the Window. Emma moved into her new apartment in the heart of the city, a modest studio overlooking a bustling street. It seemed like the perfect retreat for her after a messy breakup. Yet, from her very first night, she felt a presence. Across the street, in the window of a dimly lit apartment, she saw a figure staring at her. A man. His silhouette was unmistakable, and he didn't move. Emma told herself it was nothing, a lonely neighbor perhaps. The next night, he was there again. He stared motionlessly as she turned off her lights and climbed into bed. She felt her skin prickle with unease. Over the days, his silhouette seemed to grow sharper. She could make out the outline of his hands pressed against the glass. It wasn't long before paranoia consumed her. She bought blackout curtains and avoided looking across the street altogether. One night, as Emma cooked dinner, she heard a faint tapping at her window. Her blood ran cold. She lived on the 4th floor, impossible for someone to reach. The sound grew louder and more insistent. She mustered the courage to peel back the curtain and screamed. The man wasn't across the street anymore. He was outside her window, hanging by a rope. Emma scrambled to call the police, but when they arrived, the rope and the man were gone. Only a smudged handprint remained on her window. The officers assured her they'd investigate. That night, she bolted every lock and tried to sleep. Hours later, her phone buzzed with a notification. A picture message. It was of her, fast asleep in her bed. The caption read, "It's more fun when I'm closer." Number 2. The Grocery Store Shadow. Maggie loved her late-night grocery trips. The aisles were quiet, the staff were friendly, and the fluorescent lights offered an oddly comforting glow. On one such night, she noticed a man trailing her through the store. He wasn't holding a basket, nor did he seem to shop. He just loitered near her, keeping a disquieting distance. She brushed it off as coincidence and moved to the frozen foods aisle. The man appeared moments later. Maggie felt the hairs on her neck rise. She quickly grabbed her items and headed to the checkout, relieved to leave the unsettling encounter behind. In the parking lot, the night air was still and cold. She noticed a car idling near hers, a black sedan with tinted windows. Her gut screamed at her to hurry, but she dismissed it as paranoia. She loaded her groceries and got into her car. As she drove home, she checked her rearview mirror. The black sedan was following her. Panicked, she made a sharp turn into a gas station. The sedan cruised past, and she sighed with relief. But as she unlocked her apartment door, her phone buzzed with an unfamiliar number. She read the message. Forgot the ice cream. Her heart sank. She didn't buy ice cream. She looked around and saw her grocery bag tipped over in the corner. A carton of ice cream, which she had never purchased, sat there with a note attached. Next time, don't forget me. Number 1. The Voice in the Vents. Jonathan prided himself on living alone. It was quiet, predictable, but the solitude began to unravel when he heard faint whispering coming from the air vents of his small townhouse. Initially, he thought it was a quirk of the heating system. Yet, as days passed, the whispers grew clearer. Soft, deliberate, almost intimate. One night, as he lay in bed, the voice called his name. Jonathan. It was faint, but undeniable. He shot out of bed, heart racing. He checked the vents, but found nothing unusual. Over the next week, the voice became more frequent, whispering strange phrases. "You're never alone," or "Do you miss me?" Jonathan reported the incidents to the landlord, who dismissed his concerns. Frustrated, he decided to investigate the vents himself. He unscrewed one in his bedroom and peered inside with a flashlight. There was nothing but darkness. But then, he saw it, a pair of eyes glinting back at him. He fell backward, slamming the vent shut. The police arrived shortly after, but when they searched the ductwork, they found no one. They assured him it was likely a prank, but Jonathan wasn't convinced. That night, he bolted every vent shut and tried to sleep. As he drifted off, his phone buzzed. A video message. It was a live feed of him in bed, viewed from the ceiling. The text read, "I never left.